Hi, this is my final project, The Final Invasive Species by me, Matthew Lacey. Just as a pretext, just to get us started, I want you to pretend, regardless of your religious beliefs, that there's a God. Now, let's say that God got bored of being God. I mean, every day, kind of monotonous, right? So he says, hey, you seem like a cool guy. You should be God. Only thing, start off by creating the earth. Can you do it? Honestly, I don't think I'd be able to, and I'd be surprised if you could. Life on Earth couldn't exist without a myriad of events falling into place at the right time, right place, and in precisely the right order every single time, with just so many different abnormalities that could change it. Now, to get us started, what about the air we breathe? For millions of years, we've been standing at 20.95% of our atmosphere and the oxygen's level, despite all the things that we have done to the earth, which includes a drastic rise in our population, deforestation, and the rising heavy use of fossil fuels. It hasn't changed, which is amazing. Now, water. You drink a gallon a day. Everybody does. It's what we shower with. It's how we run our lives. But more than that, it's how we live. Without water, we wouldn't be able to function in any way. No life whatsoever would be able to live. Alright, something that most people don't know about that's a little more complex than, Earth, sun, and water. But the way the Earth is tilted is billions of years ago, we believe that we had a collision with our sister planet Theia, which caused our world to become tilted at a 23.5-degree angle. It's this tilt that causes seasons to occur, and it's why we have them. Had we not had this tilt, half of our world would be enshrouded in ice the entire lifespan. Always. It wouldn't change. And furthermore, the other half that we know of now would be much hotter, and it'd be unstable. It wouldn't be as it is now. Our climate would be erratic. Now, there's a lot of components to life. So the Earth was made out of stars, which contain carbon. This carbon received water through space storms. You heard me right. It's a real thing. I didn't know that. This energy was provided through lightning strikes, super tides, volcanoes, and hypothermal vents, essentially supernatural disasters that we're all terrified of. And all these things are believed to be necessary components to live. Necessary components of life. And although there's a lot of discrepancies about how life began, Big Bang, whatever you want to believe, it's these things that came together at the perfect time in the perfect way that allowed this to happen. Now, last but not least, and something that I just cannot wrap my head around, the ozone layer, the amount of the sun's rays that comes down from the ozone layer is 2%. That's what gets admitted through the sun. Had this been 0%, the world would be enshrouded in ice. Had this been anything over what we currently have, the world would be much hotter. And I'm not talking about livable conditions. Let's say it was at 5%, the world would be burning. There would be no life, at least not life as we know it. See, life finds a way, but our life would not. Now, let's get into the Earth's history. So, the Earth has been created long before humans. It's been around for 4.5 billion years. It's witnessed 5 mass extinctions. Dinosaurs, woolly mammoths, it just keeps going. It's experienced countless ice ages, some real ice ages, some just very, very cold times. Volcanoes blanket the world in ash, and countless asteroids, impale the Earth. Now, in the last 2 centuries, humans, the Anthropocene era, the last 200 years, roughly, since the 1800s, we have done more destruction than the world has ever seen before by any one creature, naming all of them. We have done more as one species than any other species combined. Now, we have caused overpopulation, burning fossil fuels, deforestation, ocean acidification, water pollution, extraction of natural resources, over-harvesting, the ozone layer to collapse, and that's just to name a few. We are destroying the planet. It's like we are purposely trying to destroy the thing that is allowing us to be alive. In other words, we're trying to bite the hand that feeds us. Now, we are an invasive species, and we are an apex invasive species, because humans have no concept for enough. Whatever word you want to replace with enough, we have no concept for satisfied. Humans, as long as it's available, will continue to go after an endless amount. It's largely considered the American dream, but, we're leaving a country out of this. We're talking about the world. There's no concept for enough. If someone has the power and the ability and the cunning to gain more than they can, to use more than their carbon footprint should allow, to be more than the 1%, to be more than the 10%, they will do that. And that is why humans have zero concept for limits and no care for their impacts on the world except for what it does for them. We are the biggest invasive species you could find. Now, I just gave you a lot of depressing information and in a pretty short time span because this is supposed to be short and I'm stuttering a lot. But it's not over. The world can be saved, but there's a massive caveat. Within 6 to 10 years, we will reach a tipping point that is irreversible and we cannot go back from it. So, that means that we have to change today. You have to find something that you can do in the best ability you can do it, and you need to focus on saving the world, which is crazy. It's not fair. People in our generation were born into this. We shouldn't have to figure out other people's problems, but it's the way of the world, and it's something we have to do. Now, there's so much hope. Everything is impossible until it's proven. Everything, whether it's flying or beating the 400-meter race, everything in life is impossible until it's proven possible. And while it may seem impossible, or at least extremely improbable, that the world will figure its way out, it will happen. Now, whether this is by design or by disaster, I don't know. It will likely be a mix of both, but the way that humans have been going, it'll likely be more disaster than design, at least in my opinion. Because we know how to rein in our ecological boundaries, and we need to act on that knowledge, but we haven't. And until it takes some sort of disaster to accelerate how we feel about, all our ecological boundaries collapsing and growing farther than they should, we won't fix it. And that's what I firmly believe. But the world will work itself out one way or another, and we need to have the systems in place and the culture ready to adapt in order for it to take place.